Welcome to Big Taters. My name is Sarah. Can I start you guys off with an order of our Freedom Tots?
We got all these people, all our friends. They're just sitting around trying to figure out what to do, trying to figure out how to make something.
I thought you were avoiding me.
Why would you think that? Because I stole your role.
What's going on with you lately?
I work so hard. Every week it's a new class, a new audition.
Hopefully you'll see something in me. I know I'd be great for this.
We'll be in touch.
Hello, Sarah. We'd like to see you again. And Sarah, this will be different.
Sarah, relax yourself.
Sarah, if you can't fully let yourself go, how can you ever transform into something?
I'm dying!
No. You're being reborn.
Your face would be on the poster on a wall in a lobby of a movie theater, a theater with a marquee. Kill your old life, Sarah. Bury it in the earth. And join us in the skies.
That's me. I'm your girl. I will do whatever it takes for this role.
Welcome to the Blind Rage Podcast. This is Brandon Ford.
And this is Tony the Tiger, the Thunder from Down Under. Happy to be here with you again.
Oh, yes. And we have kind of a deep cut, I think. I don't really think a lot of people know about this movie. But we are doing Starry Eyes from 2014.
Mm-hmm.
Which is a very, very enjoyable but very dark film. And when I first saw it, I didn't have the audio described version because I don't think there is one. And so I was just listening to it. And then when I went to the plot summary on Wikipedia, and I was like, oh, I didn't even know that was happening. Like, for example, when she pukes up the maggots in the bathtub. I knew she was throwing up. I just didn't know it was maggots.
Yeah.
But the puking itself was, enough.
Unpleasant enough.
Yes, it was. But before we get into that, I have to get the usual plugs out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to encourage all listeners out there, to check out my books in paperback and Kindle editions on Amazon.com by typing in Brandon Ford. You'll also find my Amazon author page, which you can subscribe to in order to receive email notifications whenever I have a new release. If you prefer audiobooks, you can also find several of my titles on audible.com by typing in Brandon Ford. If you don't already, please follow me on Instagram at writer Brandon Ford. You can also follow me on both Twitter and Letterboxd at Brandon Ford. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, critiques, suggestions, recommendations, please feel free to email me directly at blindragepod81@gmail.com. Please don't forget to stop by the official Blind Rage Podcast Facebook page to like and subscribe. And please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the Blind Rage Podcast on your preferred podcasting platform. So, it's been a while since we last recorded.
Mm-hmm.
And in that time, have you watched anything good or bad or noteworthy or anything?
Well, we have Paramount Plus, and I have been watching the show Yellow Jackets, which I was interested in watching, but then I couldn't be bothered to watch because I just assumed it would be like a female Lord of the Flies. But then I saw a good review by Stephen King, and I thought I'll give it a go. And I'm quite enjoying it. It's got a lot more humor than I was anticipating, which makes it which I find quite good in it. The other thing I watched, I had insomnia the other day, and I was just trying to find something to fall asleep to. There was a Adelaide horror movie called Stuffings, which was about this Adelaide Hills community that puts up stuffed Santa Clauses around their neighbourhood to ward off some evil spirit, and that was a little silly fun to watch.
And what year did that come out?
Within the last 3 years. Oh, actually, no, it was made during COVID. Yeah, that's right. So 2021. And this weekend, I'm going to a picnic screening of Little Shop of Horrors. So I'm looking forward to that.
The Steve Martin one?
Yeah. Is it Steve Martin?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No. Wait.
No.
Rick Moranis.
Yeah, Rick Moranis. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Well, that's good. And does Matt like musicals?
Yes, he loves musicals. And he's looking forward to Little Shop of Horror as well. Yeah, when we do road trips, we'll play musicals and sing along to them.
That is quite gay.
Lovely.
As for me, I saw recently for the first time Sex, Lies, and Videotape.
Oh, okay.
I was not impressed. I was not.
No, looking back at it, I thought it's not as great a movie as it might have been in its day. But
and, as I know it has a decent, well, it was very well regarded when it first came out, and I know it's got a good reputation. And as I've said before, when it comes to those movies, those kinds of movies, or yes, movies that I don't like or have a problem with, I usually try to find some review to corroborate, like to find somebody else who didn't like it, and so that I'm not alone. But I'm quite alone in this one because everybody seems to love this fucking movie, and I don't know why, because it's not good. And
it's a movie that I have a respect for, but I hardly remember it. There are some movies I know are good because people like them. Even if I don't like it myself, I won't. I'll realize that I'm just one person.
Well, I think my biggest issue with it was very dry. Not a whole lot happens, and
so it's like your sex life.
Yes, exactly. Excuse me. Only I can poke fun at my sex life or lack thereof. Thank you. But I think what I didn't really like about it was the dialogue didn't ring true, and the characters don't behave like normal people. And it wasn't like in that that one like Lars von Trier movies has characters like that, and the director who did The Killing of Sacred Deer. But that's their style. It's intentional. And here it didn't feel intentional. It just felt like, what the fuck's his name?
Steven Soderbergh?
Steven Soderbergh didn't know how people spoke. And he said he wrote the script on a legal pad in 8 days, and it kind of shows. Yeah. But yeah, there's like this opening scene with Andie MacDowell at a therapist, and she's talking about her concern over garbage. And what are we going to do with the garbage? Where's all the garbage going to go? And
you sound like Jerry Seinfeld.
What is the deal with all the garbage? That was literally the first time in my life I ever attempted a Jerry Seinfeld impression. What is the deal with that terrible Jerry Seinfeld impression? But yeah, and then there was a scene that really, I was like, what? Because it's Andy McDowell who's married to, what's his name with the insane eyebrows?
James Spader?
Oh. No, she's not married to James Spader. James Spader is the friend of the husband. And he's coming to stay with them for a while. And literally, he never even met the wife. And literally, he knocks on the door and she says, "Oh, hello, nice to meet you," or whatever. And he says, "Hi, may I use your bathroom?" And I'm like, who the fuck does that? And she's like, yeah, come in. And then he goes, hands her a bag, and he goes, "Here, I bought you some strawberries." Random. And then he goes into the bathroom. He's there for about 10 seconds, and he goes, "False alarm." And then he comes out, and they talk about nonsense. And then he goes, "I think I'm ready to use the bathroom now." And all the while, I'm like, who the fuck wrote this? And then there's a scene when the husband is having an affair with Andy McDowell's sister, Laura San Giacomo.
Yeah.
And she goes to meet him, I think at her apartment, and he's lying naked on the bed with a basket of, I don't know, something on his genitals. And he's trying to be sexy, and I would imagine it's not Peter Gallagher. That's who it is. I would imagine it's not at all. So she looks at the basket and says, "Is that for me?" And he goes, "Yeah." And she picks up the basket and looks through it. And then she turns to look at his junk and goes, "Is that for me too?" And he goes, "Yeah, that's for you." That's like the least sexy talk I've ever heard in my entire life. But yeah, there was a lot of clunky dialogue. I think the best performance was probably Laura San Giacomo. Andy McDowell, I don't really think is a very good actress. Peter Gallagher was fine. James Spader did a decent enough job.
But he tends to play himself, I feel.
He does.
Or he plays a certain character on repeat.
Well, he wasn't the same character he was in fucking what was it? Pretty Pink. The Crush. What?
Crash. Like car crash.
Yeah, no. So yeah, there was that.
What I was gonna say, because you were saying the dialogue compared to Lars von Trier and the gentleman behind Killing of Sacred Deer, is I think the main difference is these are their dialogue can come across as clunky because they're interpreting words from another language in their head. So I can very much imagine the dialogue sounding a lot better when it's written in their native tongue, but once you interpret it, it can you need to have there's a bit of loss in translation. But in saying that, I'm quite forgivable of that type of stuff, being my native tongue isn't English. But when an English person is doing it and it's coming across badly, it's less excusable.
I think that it's probably a mixture of loss in translation and the it's their style of filmmaking. That these are the characters that they want, and a lot of the time too, like if there are screenwriters whose language isn't first language isn't English, they usually have a script doctor to dialogue
Yeah.
polish
Yeah.
to make it sound more authentic. So, but yeah, I think in Lars von Trier's case, and the other director's name I completely forgot.
Yeah.
I just think
yeah, I can't even remember. It's
I
Greek.
just think yeah, and I think it's hard to pronounce. I just think that it's their vision, because
Yeah.
they write stories that are in a very unusual world.
Yeah. But in saying that, I quite enjoyed the movie The Favourite, which was the Greek director, but he had co-written that, I believe.
I think he does co-write his scripts.
Yeah.
Did you see The Lobster?
No, I would like to, but I haven't seen that one yet. And I never got around to watching Dogtooth, which was one I wanted to watch, but I don't feel it's available anymore in Australia.
I didn't. Dogtooth?
Or The Lobster.
I did see The Lobster because there's an audio described version, and it's a little too goofy.
Well, it's a comedy.
But it wasn't funny at all. Yeah, that was a really long tangent on Sex, Lies, and Videotape that went absolutely nowhere. I could have just said I saw it and I didn't like it. But another movie that I don't think anybody would argue with me when I say is bad, because it really doesn't have much of a following, that I watched recently was 976 Evil 2. And it was one that I hadn't seen in a very long time, but I'd seen it when it first came out, and I didn't particularly like it then, but it was
Okay.
and I was like 10, and it was on the same VHS tape that Popcorn was. So, and I would watch Popcorn all the time. So generally, when I had VHS tapes that had more than one movie on it, I would just let it play.
Yeah.
So it'd be like I would go to put it in to watch Popcorn, and then I would just watch 976 Evil 2 by default. And yeah, so I put it in, or I have the audio, just the regular audio of it, because of course there's no audio described version of 976 Evil 2, or you out of your fucking mind. And it was so fucking painfully bad that I couldn't even get to the end, which says a lot, because Jesus Christ knows I watch a lot of really terrible movies. And when you can't make it to the end, there's something amiss.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it wasn't just the fact that it was bad. The acting was bad. The story was bad.
But if it doesn't drag you along, then
no, and it wasn't even bad in the fun, campy kind of way that Jim Wynorski's other movies like Chopping Mall and Sorority House Massacre 2 and things like that tend to be. It was just stupid. But we're not watching a bad or stupid movie. We're watching Starry Eyes.
yes.
And this is a very, very well done movie.
Well, the
And,
directors have gone on to make some accomplished movies from here. So
what else have they done? Tell me.
let's start the movie and I can tell you.
Oh. Okay. Fucking.
All right. Pet Cemetery
Conditions.
and Mama 2.
What was it?
Pet Cemetery, the remake.
Oh, that's not good.
Mama 2.
They did a sequel to Mama?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
And they did a movie called Holidays, which I think was an anthology. Just
Mama is one that I've been curious about. Have you seen that one?
no, and I didn't realize that they had made a sequel to it. But yeah, I remember the original. I think it got good reviews, but I never got around to watching it.
Yeah, I've heard good reviews. What's weird too is that Mama Ma, and Mother all came out around the same time.
Yes. There was a collective consciousness.
Mm-hmm. All right. But now we're going to watch Starry Eyes.
Yes.
And if you want to watch along, feel free to join us.
It's streaming. I think it's on Stan in Australia, but I managed to watch it on local streaming, so I'm sure it's a lot easier in America to find.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're going to begin in 3, 2, 1, play.
So on what platform did you watch Starry Eyes?
Tubi.
Oh, okay. Oh, you get so much more than we do with Tubi. We only have a very limited amount on Tubi.
So what was your initial reaction to this when you first saw it?
I did enjoy it. I did feel that I think that they could have left some of their satanic elements to a bit later. I think if they had hinted at things, it would have been better. Like, there was one time where they really zoom in on a pentagram and it really shoves it in your face. Whereas I feel they could have given you the opportunity to watch the movie again and discover it. But that'd probably be my only complaint about it.
I really like the score.
Yes.
Did this because it's got these really 80s inspired synths, and it's very reminiscent of the score in the Maniac remake. So much so that I was positive it was the same person, but it's not.
Yeah.
If I had to work in this place, I'd fucking kill myself.
It's a lot of it's very Twinkle Twinkle style music, where it's very stars in their eyes, kind of aspirational.
Well, that's the kind of music that you hear
music.
that's the kind of music that you hear like when she's in a more shiny, happy environment.
Yeah.
And then when she's stepped into that other world with the Satanism and stuff, it's kind of darker.
Yeah.
But this kind of sets it up to make it appear to be a happy movie, but it's not.
Yes.
It's not
Now it's not.
at all. No, I like this, the way that it slows down.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of really subtle nuances that I really liked to this. And I thought the lead actress, what's her name? Alex Sess or something? S.O., something like that. I know there's a couple of S's in there. I thought she did really well.
Yeah. And they did they have a good sound effect for when she's pulling her hair.
Yes, it's painful to listen to.
It kind of reminds me of like the image that conjures up in my head is when I'm pulling a weed out of dry soil.
Ooh. Now you just made me think of a funny story. This is so stupid.
You better tell it.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm gonna tell it, but it's really stupid. You know how there are certain times when there are certain adults who think that when kids are a certain age, they are stupid and will do things for them, like chores and such, for an unreasonably low amount of money. It's funny that you should say that, because my great aunt had my friend Jason and me, who always comes up during this podcast. He's the one who I reenacted the Van Damme movies with. Had us pull weeds from her front lawn in the dead of summer under the hot sun for 50 cents.
Oh.
And it was 50 cents each.
Like during the Depression.
But get this. It gets worse. we had been out there a while, and I don't think we made much headway because there were so many.
Yeah.
And she told us to come back the next day, and we did. And guess what happened?
I didn't even know that you auditioned for it.
She said, "Now I'm not going to pay you because I paid you yesterday."
Ah.
And we looked at her like, and we were there for like fucking 5 minutes, and we were like, this is fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
And we decided we were just going to skip out. And we did, and we started running. And she was decided to check on us right at that moment, and she saw us running. And to this day, I can still hear her screaming, "Get back here!" Oh my god. And I remember him saying to me, like when we were a safe distance away, you know, it's okay. It's not so bad for me, but you have to see her again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not telling me anything I'm not already thinking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially since she lived right near my grandmother.
Yeah.
It was my grandmother's sister. And I was very, very close with my grandmother. And I used to go there all the time. So yeah, I did see her very, very, pretty regularly, and not very long after the fact. She didn't bring it up.
Was it brought up again?
No.
No. What?
Sarah. Hey, Sarah.
If she did, I mean, I could have just told my parents. She was paying us 50 fucking cents to pull
50 cents
weeds
for 2 days.
for 2 days.
So a quarter a day.
What's going on?
Pretty much.
This ad for a role, they just called me
You
for
could
an
find that in a telephone booth.
I wonder what that is in like today money from like say 1991. What 50
Probably
cents?
like 40 cents. No, like $1.
I would be surprised if it was more than $1. Yeah.
Chloe did not get fed up and just take off.
When I first saw
She's
this,
not out on another
I
one
was
of
like,
her,
"Oh God, this isn't the audition, is it? Oh
benders.
dear, because this is no
She's
good."
not out on another one of her benders. Something happened to her.
Like where it starts disappearing.
I went to her. I
Mm.
went
Now
to
you
her
could tell
house
she's
and,
intentionally being bad.
sorry.
Well, this is a dream sequence, isn't it?
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
But you could tell the actress isn't being intentionally bad.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I went to
I would have thought that I think they should have explored the hair pulling a little bit, like where it came from.
Yeah.
Like if it had stemmed from some kind of a trauma, because that's self-harm generally does come from some sort of childhood trauma.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's, you know, how people who
Whether her mother
cut
went through leukemia or treatment or something like that.
some, well, or there's molestation or things like
Yeah.
that where people end up cutting themselves. A guy I worked with had a really bad, I think, well, it was, he didn't tell me outright, but I pieced things together from what he said. But he had a really bad relationship with, I believe, his father, who was not happy with him being gay, or wasn't happy with him being, or suspected he was gay.
Yeah, yeah.
And
That won't be necessary.
apparently he cut himself to cope with that. And I
just thought you might want to.
I found that out because he used to cut himself like on his bicep, like little cuts with like a razor.
Yeah.
And he came to work wearing a sleeveless shirt, and he had gotten a tattoo to try to cover it up, but it only like made it more
Emphasized it,
obvious. Yeah, it definitely emphasized it. And like it was like some kind of a weird what do you call it? Celtic kind of tribal pattern or something.
Oh, okay, a bit.
See something,
But
because I know
it wasn't like something stupid like, you know, go into a tattoo parlor and pick a rose off the wall.
So
But yeah, it was like some kind of a pattern, and it had all these little white slits in it.
Don't tell us,
Yeah.
Sarah. Show us.
See,
Okay.
the best way to do it is to like play with an aggressive cat.
Yes, absolutely. Well, you don't play, you tease.
Yeah. And then it scratches and then it's like, oh.
Well, there was a kid who actually lived next door to Jason who, I don't know what he did to this poor cat, but it was enough for the cat to scratch him right in his fucking face. And he had this deep scratch like right across his cheek. It's scarred and it was deep.
Yeah.
Dad gave her this, Chaz, on the morning of her birthday before he left for work. When they
That's what you get.
So,
So
Messing
her
with
birthday was
animals.
September 11th. Her dad died that morning in the
You
World
mess with
Trade
the
Center.
bull,
She
you get the
couldn't live
horns.
without this. No way, not
Thank you,
ever.
Breakfast
okay, so
Club.
she wouldn't live without it. I mean, that still doesn't
Yeah,
make sense.
that's what I was referencing. Duh.
Well, that's not all. When I was in her trailer, I heard a shuffling, and then I saw something out of the corner of my eye.
Don't say it. Don't tell me you're believing these stories now, too.
Her. I saw her.
She's still
Chaz.
here.
Saw who?
Chloe.
So she's still here.
I beg your pardon?
It
He
was
said,
her.
so she's still here.
Yes.
Only it wasn't.
I actually believe
Thank you,
the
sir.
casting directors are like this
No problem.
in general.
Yeah, I would think so because I see so many fucking people.
Yeah. Well, I also remember hearing a story from Keira Knightley, and she was quite established at this time. And she was saying how she had to do an audition
Do
of
you have
a
any notes for me?
Skype.
I can do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, you really have to. It's about knowing how to play to yourself. Basically, it's you can't expect to get your inspiration through interaction.
Yeah. Well, I've heard of people doing auditions during COVID or auditions long distance, but they usually have somebody else film them and do the lines with them.
Yeah.
Usually it's not live over Skype.
Well, I forget the story exactly, but she was doing it for a David Cronenberg movie about the talking therapy. And she had to, like, sort of orgasm over the screen. And she was saying how it was funny because right when she was, like, mid-orgasm face, the screen froze on her face.
Oh, as it would, of course. Yeah, I think would have been good here is if there was like some kind of like flashback, like not a flashback, but like flashes of her like as a child experiencing some sort of trauma.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and that would hint that that's where this came from, because she's just tearing it out for no reason.
Yeah, yeah.
And quite aggressively. And it for me, it kind of sounds like ripping up carpet.
Yeah, well, actually, the first time when she first started doing it, I thought she was like cracking her neck, and then and then I saw the hair pull, and I was, oh, okay, that's what she's doing.
I don't think I knew what the fuck she was doing. Oh no, I didn't. I didn't know what she was doing, and then this crazy bitch over here was like, "Can you pull your hair out again?" And I was like, "Oh, that's what she was doing."
The casting director, she's been in a lot of horror movies, I noticed, but just like
Who
a
is
lot
she?
of bit parts.
What's her name? Tell me.
Maria Olsen.
Oh, yeah. The name is definitely familiar, but I can't think of anything.
Full House.
All right, settle down, Grandpa.
I was disappointed in myself.
But I like how she says, could you do that for us again, that fit? She calls it a fit.
Yeah.
I don't. It's just something I do.
It's a little bit that she does.
Would you do it again? For us?
I want to see your fit.
What?
I want to see your fit, Sarah.
I've never done that in front of anyone before.
I mean, I remember you've spoken about how you don't know if you would have been a good actor because you feel like there's things that you wouldn't be able to do on cue.
I would have been too self. No, I would have just been too self-conscious.
Yeah. But I feel this bit sort of, in my own mind, it makes me feel like it is respecting actors and actresses for being able to show something quite personal on command.
Yeah. Yeah, this is intense. Well, even because like to be an actor is to be fearless. You can't be afraid of what people are going to think when you're performing. And even when you're studying, you're still in a class with other actors who are judging you. So it's not like a one-on-one thing.
Well, and I think you need trust with the director is what can help it as well. Because sometimes you might feel that what you're doing is stupid, but you're trusting that the director is seeing what they need to see and that they'll be using it for the good of the movie at the end.
Improv training is, I think, very important.
Yes, and what?
What? I said improv training is, I believe, to be very important.
Yes, and go on.
Oh, shut up! Your fucking grandpa jokes.
I wouldn't mind trying, like, doing an improv class just to as a way of improving my own self. Not by way of acting, but just I think it is important to have that brain connection.
I think you secretly want to be a performer.
Who says I'm not?
Not good. I think they made fun of me. What?
You want to sing.
I don't really want to talk about it.
You want to do
be
improv.
on Broadway, baby.
You want to be on Broadway. Oh, okay.
Now, one of the actresses
I kind of want
who
to
plays Tracy, and I can't tell if it's her or not because I can't hear it properly. She portrayed Brittany Murphy in the Brittany Murphy story.
Oh, she was terrible.
Oh, really?
Oh my God, she was so bad. And she didn't look anything like Brittany Murphy.
Well, that's why I'm not sure if it's this one because she doesn't look like her.
Well, that would be, yeah, if that will be her. She did not resemble her in the slightest.
Actually, I've been seeing ads for the Pamela and Tommy Lee story, and the woman
why?
playing Pamela reminds me of it.
Is it for Lifetime?
Well, I feel that the woman is a well-known actress, so I don't know.
I think we might have talked about this before, but the Anna Nicole one, oh my God, the girl that looked nothing like her at all. And she didn't even bother trying to do any of the Anna Nicoleisms with like this way she talked. Because she
They could
was
have gotten
always,
Adore Delano to do a better job.
Yes, yeah,
she was always, checked out.
We'd like to see you again.
I did like her in Naked Gun 33 and a Third.
I would love to come in.
Just by
I remember liking that movie when I was liking movies like Repossessed.
yes.
Oh my god, you have to fucking when you have to write this down to remember this because it's fucking hilarious. She did a really bad movie straight to video movie in the 90s called Skyscraper.
Oh, I've seen that one where she's a helicopter pilot.
Uh-huh. And there is a YouTube video of her shooting a scene, and she had all of her lines fed to her through an earpiece. And you hear whoever's reading them to her, and her trying to repeat them, and she's saying the completely wrong thing. And what she's saying makes absolutely no sense. And it takes her at least 5-6 attempts to say the simplest things.
Yeah.
That movie must have took hours to edit together.
I know it's important to you, but
Jesus Christ.
And I remember it had like a fairly uninspiring sex scene.
That's what I've heard.
For such a, sexual goddess, it wasn't very good at all.
I've heard that. Well, she wasn't an actress.
No.
no, I don't.
I did feel very bad when her son died, but
This job
I know, that was
is
sad.
getting in the way, Carl.
But
Talent.
when Anna Nicole Smith is your mother, you really don't have a
And I'm not
chance.
gonna take that for granted
yeah.
anymore.
Well, her daughters, I think, come through quite fine.
Yeah, but her
she's been
daughter
raised by
was
her
an
father.
infant. Her daughter was an infant, yeah.
Let's start over. You have a gift. No. This place. Sarah.
I don't think a million other girls would beg to work at fucking Tater Tots or whatever the fuck this place is called.
No, it's like an attempt to be a Hooters.
I am not.
Is it? Are they dressed scantily?
Yeah. Well,
And what's their-
skimpy pants?
What's the phrase that they say when you leave? It's like Tater Gator or some shit.
Yeah, I think something like that. Yeah. Have a tater day.
Oh god. I fucking hate tater tots too. They're so gross.
Oh, I don't mind them at all.
Ugh. I think we might have had this discussion before. I had this with James, but to me they taste exactly like hash browns, and I fucking hate hash browns.
Oh, how can you hate? Oh my god. Okay. One thing I was reading in the trivia, but then I think that in the same trivia it was saying that it was a lie, that one of the writer's friends said that they had this situation done to them for a David Lynch movie.
Lower your hand.
And so that sort of was the inspiration for the movie, where they were told to like just get naked. But
Of course.
I didn't actually believe it myself. And then later I reckon I read that it was a false story that they had made up.
Of course.
I don't know. I think David Lynch strikes me as asexual.
Excuse me?
Well,
Would you mind disrobing?
oh, I don't know about that. But the reason I didn't feel that it was true is because there was a lot of suggestion that the whole movie Mulholland Drive is about how negative the whole casting couch experience is.
Right. Yeah.
Proven that you can memorize lines.
Well, it was supposed to be based on Harvey Weinstein
Yeah.
specifically.
Didn't I do that last time?
That's the reason you're here, Sarah. The only reason you got.
If only this movie had come out like 4 years later,
Sarah, you know.
I think it would have gotten a lot more attention because
Yes.
of the whole Me Too movement.
Well, that was kind of what I felt. I watched a movie called bloody hell, I can't remember what it's called. It was from the director of It Follows, and it was something like Under the Silver Lake.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me had a lot of Hollywood references, even. And actually, I put that in my review for it. Is that if you look at it under the lens of Weinstein and even Epstein, it comes across as a whole different type of movie.
Getting back to Pamela Anderson, she said something during the Me Too movement that I thought was both funny but also at the same time very insensitive to the girls who had gone through those kinds of situations.
Yeah.
But she said it on a talk show, and she was like, when I was acting, do you know how many producers asked me to go up to their hotel rooms All of them. I never went. And Jenny McCarthy used to tell this story all the time on her Sirius XM show, where she was told by her she was going in to read for Under Siege 2 with the oh so delightful Steven Seagal.
I didn't realize who his ex was.
Who, Kelly LeBrock?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they did Hard to Kill
like
together.
a match at all.
No, she's too good for that mess. And the only reason why he became an actor is because he was good at whatever kind of fighting he does.
Martial arts, yeah.
Martial arts, yeah. He's not an actor, and he never wanted to be an actor. But anyway, yeah, she told the story a few times on her show where she was going in to read for Under Siege 2, and she was trying to get out of the whole Playboy thing, and she didn't want to do any nudity. And her agent told her that it wasn't required. And so she went in and she was going to read. It was just him and her. And they sat down. She was sitting on the couch. It was literally a casting couch. And he got up and sat down next to her, and he said, so I'm going to need to see you nude. And she was like, I was told there was no nudity in this movie. And he's like, that might change. So, if you want the part, I'm going to have to see you undressed. And she said, well, if you want to see me undressed, my new Playboy just came out. Go out and buy it. And she stormed out of the casting couch.
If I have to take one more goddamn photo of you two idiots jumping, I swear to God, I'm
Very 80s synth pop.
Yeah, it's sort of it's the music related to the ones with the innocent ambition of like, oh, if we do these jump shots, we'll get cast in something.
Yeah, I read the ad. They're all seem kind of silly though. Yeah, but it's Australia's picture.
This has vocals.
Strayas, huh?
Mm.
Wow, that is legit. They're the real deal.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
Do you think it's kind of a long shot though?
I was looking at a review for this on some YouTube channel where the reviewer only did reviewers for a movie that dealt with the occult in some way.
Oh, yep.
And did you see it?
No.
And he was picking out, like, I guess he was very learned with occult symbolism.
The name of the company means something, yeah.
Yeah, and he was like picking out all of the little Easter eggs in the movie.
Yeah. Which is fun. What did it mean?
I don't remember.
Oh.
A lot of it went over my head because I wasn't. I wanted to hear his review for the movie, and he really wasn't even talking about the movie. I wasn't invested. But yeah, Astraeus does mean something. I just don't remember what.
Yeah.
But I do think that this is an interesting take on the Hollywood Illuminati.
Oh, yeah. No. Do you believe in an Illuminati?
No.
No, me neither.
Shining like Illuminati.
Oh, I did not like that song.
Neither did I. It's so stupid. And she I really didn't like the part where she did kind of like the Vogue rap, but with all more contemporary people. She's talking about Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Fathers and anyway. It kind of reminded me a little bit of one of the songs from the previous album that referenced. Yeah, that I didn't like either.
Yep. Confessions on a Dance Floor was really the end of the era of great Madonna albums from front to back. And as many honest fans will say, it's when she stopped being a leader and became a follower.
There are songs that I like on the albums that she's released since then, but not the albums as a whole. I think that if you took the 3 albums afterwards and made one good CD out of it, I think it would be a very good CD.
Wow. That's right, you have that thing.
What I found interesting about this movie, and I don't know whether it was my own take, is the concept of selling your soul.
Get it.
Whether because I feel that there's the literary meaning where she is doing it, but then there's also the fact of working in a fast food joint, like just as a way of soul crushing. So it's almost like one evil over another.
That's smart. Yeah, I didn't. That's an interesting way of looking at it.
I almost found the movie like defensive of the loops that she goes through to get to where she needs to be. But it's almost like a movie saying, "This is how it's done," and sorry, but that's.
If you want to make it in Hollywood, kid.
Yeah, if you want to get your Oscar, you're gonna have to
suck some satanic dick.
Yes. Because it even seemed to happen like at a lower scale when her friend, who's the director, wannabe director, it was almost like they had to sleep together.
You are just as beautiful
right, Danny.
Yeah, this guy is a good creepy. Like I thought he was cast very well. Everyone's cast well in this movie, actually.
I am excited, Sarah. We audition a lot
of
young women.
Have always. It's been it's been something that I've thought about for a long time, where I look at celebrities who have really made it big in Hollywood, and I wonder who went the honest route and made it on their talents, and who actually did do the casting couch to get where they are.
See, something that depresses me is who had to do the casting couch despite their talent. I feel that there are some talented people who don't get their opportunity simply because someone worse got it.
Well, I think the chances of somebody doing the casting couch who is very talented and being very successful is a lot less likely than somebody who isn't very talented doing the casting couch, getting a few roles, and then slipping into some obscurity.
Yeah.
Like, I doubt Meryl Streep did the casting couch, but somebody like fucking... I don't even want to say a name.
Well, Sharon Stone talks about how she had a lot of producers sort of me too her.
The fog of this town, and you get desperation.
Well, Sharon Stone was also a major cunt from the beginning.
But that's what I find interesting.
It was you who told me about that book, right?
Oh yeah, about that Philip Noyce.
What was the movie?
Sliver.
Yeah, okay, I mean...
Oh. No, I'd heard horror stories about her like from like when she was doing movies in the early 80s.
But I mean, I
She
think
was-
Wes Craven thought that she was lovely when they worked together. Or not bad, but or maybe
Deadly
maybe I'm
Blessing.
wrong. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what he said about her.
there was something about his wife
It
going.
helps me focus
Maybe
on
I'm
the
wrong
moment.
altogether.
His wife, what?
Maybe got with Sharon Stone.
Yes.
His wife lesed it out with Sharon Stone?
Yeah, I'll have to look this up later. Now that I've
Okay.
triggered a memory that I can't latch onto.
Would be on the poster on a wall in a lobby of a movie theater.
A marquee.
A
With
theater
your name.
with a marquee.
You know, there really aren't movie theaters with marquees that have the movie title on them anymore.
Much anymore, right?
That's not a thing.
Okay.
This is a great opportunity.
It's not. They usually have, like, the movies
with ambition.
above the box office.
I'm your girl.
Or, like, on a
Whatever it
big,
takes for this one.
fucking structure in the parking lot.
We want to offer.
Yeah.
There's no fucking marquee that says, like, fucking Spider-Man on there.
Not even that Chinese one.
I agree. Truthfully, I think I am.
Grauman's.
this girl. I mean,
Yes.
This character
Well,
has
that's
a
different.
dream, and she has so much potential.
Sarah, forget about all that.
That's like for a premiere.
This world
Yes,
is
yeah.
about the doers.
Yeah, something that
people who
disappointed
don't
me
just
where I
talk
live
about
is
what they're going
there
to
used to
do,
be
just do
some
it.
very nice cinemas
that's
within
you.
the city centre, which are nearly all gone. But they used to do some premieres there. Now they do it like at a
worked
cinema
so
complex
hard.
down in the south, which
You
is
know, every
it's like
week it's
very
a new
dime a dozen.
class, a new
It's,
audition, and I just never.
Speaking of
If
marquees,
you want me to
oh my god.
good vibrations.
more with
Shut up.
their
I used to work at a clothing store where they would have a marquee in, because they would always have, you know, a special sale on certain items in adults, for adults and kids. And whatever it was would be spelled out on a marquee. Not like a giant movie theater marquee, but it was a decent size.
Yeah.
no.
Spelling everything out on the floor, going through all the fucking letters in the box, because the letters were supposed to be in alphabetical order, but nobody ever put them back where they belonged. And some of them were red and some of them were blue. So it was like you had to find all of the fucking letters in the same color, and you were given a paper, and it had to look exactly like it looked on the paper.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was so tedious. Thankfully, I didn't have to do it all the time.
Yeah. I'm getting PTSD just listening to this.
I'm kidding. Honey, I'm kidding.
What was the name of the store?
It's a major chain, I don't want to say.
Oh, okay. Sears.
No. I have some standards.
Don't cry, hon.
And
What happened?
Everything was
I find it
so well.
something how unsupportive everyone is. Like, it's
I
very
know.
competitive. You know, it's almost like when you're friends with people at school
Quit your job.
just because you're all in the one place, but in reality,
Well-
you want to do better than them.
Okay, wait a minute.
I think only the one girl is her friend and everybody else is the friend's friends.
Yeah.
I couldn't
They're not her friends. I think they really tried to portray her as a Nomi Malone kind of character, where she really didn't have anybody.
Yeah.
Come on, you don't mean sex.
So this is her Molly.
Specifically what?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Are you being serious?
Her Penny.
What a fucking creep. Okay, people
No.
still even do that?
Penny's from heaven.
No.
No one out there
Oh,
does.
okay.
No.
I sure as heck don't.
Nomi barely had any time with
And you
Penny.
don't. Okay.
Oh, yes. Actually, I still have to watch that, but
Okay.
Do you? Do you?
I do. The only thing is,
Do you?
whenever I play on the Blu-ray player, it stuffs up the telly, and it's annoying.
It was 2 auditions.
Oh, you're talking about
I'm
the
seriously
original
surprised for a
Showgirls.
lead role that quickly. Doesn't that seem a little
Yes.
suspicious to you?
Oh, I thought you were talking about
DVDs in
Showgirls.
general, DVDs or Blu-rays in general.
Dan
I
was
thought you were
just
talking about
telling me
Showgirls,
that I would
too.
love to have you in his movie. You should talk to him. What are they up to now?
I never got through Showgirls 2.
No, well, Showgirls 1 was a happy accident, and you can't repeat that.
Yes, and
It's like having good children.
yeah, and Rena Riffle really went out of her way to put like as many references to the first movie in it.
It was a labor of love.
So I just wanted to say,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But it was also
maybe
a really
trying to
bad
help me.
one, and a very poorly written
And
one,
I twisted your
and a
words.
very poorly acted one.
I twisted them, and
You know, does Joe Estevera still do work?
Who?
Really?
The writer of
Joe
missed that
Esterhoff?
name.
I think he.
I know what town we
Didn't he die?
Oh, okay.
you think you're the first,
So that's a
I know he had lung cancer,
but
Yeah.
they all understood
and then he had that
the bills while they chased
whole
the dream.
thing about trying to boycott smoking in movies.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay.
Or I think he was instrumental in the boycott of smoking in American
Yeah.
cinema.
do you want me to beg for this job?
Well, you don't got to be a jerk about it. I mean, you already had.
Oh God, could you imagine having to go back with your tail between your legs for this fucking job?
Oh, yeah. No, I would never do that.
I want you to see this place for what it really is. Yeah, I know you think it's cheesy, too self-aware, not ironic enough for you.
Lord.
The
Not...
menus, the specials, all those clever meal names, calling the little kids.
See you later, Gators.
saying, see you later,
Tater Gator.
when the customers are leaving. That's all me. All right? It may not be cool to a young woman
You know,
your
I'd
age.
feel quite uncomfortable going somewhere where the servers are sexualized.
Look, just promise me that until you see flowers on the sidewalk out there, you'll try and.
I mean, I'm obviously not their clientele. Like, I wouldn't go to a Hooters or something like that.
Well, it was funny you should say that because I was about to say. I remember.
But then I wouldn't go somewhere where I'm served by buff men or anything like that.
like in Bachelor Party.
Magic.
No,
Mike.
I was. Yeah. No, I was gonna say. Fucking. I remember. Me and my ex went to Atlantic City, and we were really hungry, and we just wanted to find some place to eat. And in the casino, there was a Hooters, and I was like, do you want to just go in there? And he was like, do you really want to go to a Hooters? I was like, I don't care. I'm fucking hungry.
Apparently, they got great steaks.
Well, I didn't find out because we didn't go.
Ah,
Hey, back to slumming it like the rest of us?
I think it's interesting, though, that with establishments like Hooters and with strip clubs, women are constantly complaining about being objectified and things like that. But have you ever gone to a male strip club? The women are 10 times worse than the men.
yeah, yeah.
The women literally grab dick.
Yeah. Well, that's sort of, I haven't been to a strip club, but I remember I used to go to the local gay nightclub, and a lot of the workers and drag queens and stuff would hate the bridal parties that would come in, because they would, like, grope the drag queens and stuff.
They would grope the drag queens.
Yeah, like.
Oh my god.
Let's see, it's LA. Why should I spend $1,500?
Did you ever see that that thing with RuPaul and Milton Berle when they were presenting something together at like the MTV Awards or something like that?
I do, but I don't remember what it was. She got really angry at him.
Well, everybody said she was nasty to him, and they had this real. Well, she wrote about it in her book. What happened was, first of all, he wrote the script, and it was really bad, and it was the jokes. I remember one of them. Oh God.
Maybe it's worth it.
One of them was supposed to be like him coming out and saying, you know, Rue, I used to dress as a woman on the show that I did way back in the day. And she was supposed to say, oh, really? How come you stopped? His response, it was the real drag. I'm not kidding.
Oh, okay.
But so
You work at this restaurant.
when they met backstage,
So what?
the first thing that he did was go up to Rue and squeeze her. She had like styrofoam, like a breast.
The breastplate.
Yeah. Went up and honked it and went, hiya, toots.
Yeah.
And was very not woke, we'll say. He was very, very obnoxious. And
that was like in
Rue,
the 60s.
You're gonna dig it.
Yeah, but Rue was not happy with him at all.
We'll work around your precious big table.
So yeah,
well, there's
it showed.
an expected professionalism.
Yes, well, there should be. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was not professional at all, and she was not having it.
Mm.
So good for her.
Sure.
Simone?
If you want.
You're gonna have plenty of time to live in a van down by the river when you're living in a van down by the river.
Do you smell burnt toast?
All right. Okay. I've been trying to talk to you about it for a week.
You don't know Matt
We
Foley?
can make our own movie.
I feel like I've heard it before, but
Please do me a favor and slap yourself in the dick.
Do you have
Thanks.
any champagne?
It's like one of the best fucking Saturday Night Live sketches ever.
oh no. Did you ever see the coffee talk with Madonna?
Yeah.
She was good in that.
Yes, I do enjoy her doing comedy, or when she did.
Start of a night
I
when
thought she was
Yeah.
very funny. She wasn't even the host. That was Roseanne's.
Oh, okay.
So she just came out and did that. She did a handful of things with Mike Myers.
Yeah, I think that they sort of remain friends, and that's why she did Beautiful Stranger.
Mm.
If you had a pool complex, wouldn't you have bathers available?
I would, when you're done watching Anna Nicole Smith, I do recommend looking up the Matt Foley sketch on YouTube, because it's so funny trying to watch. Well, David Spade just like covers his face with his hands the whole time because he's trying so hard not to laugh. And Christina Applegate is sitting like on the side of the couch. She was the host for that one. Yeah. And she kept pulling her hair over her face. Everybody was, because Lauren apparently chews you the fuck out if you laugh.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Sarah Walker calling.
I don't know how Jimmy Fallon lasted as long as he did. He used to fucking laugh in every sketch he was in.
I want to meet him again.
The scene where she blows him is so uncomfortable.
I'm because sure you hear uncomfortable for everyone.
Because you hear her making the noise, like he's like fucking jamming it in there. And he's saying all this weird, crazy shit. And the music box cue is kind of like, you know, it sounds like the box is on its last leg.
Well, and also in that scene, she was in her high heels and turned around, so it's almost like a ballerina. Music box. Dressing in her skimps. It's almost like when Jamie Lee Curtis tries to dress sexy in True Lies. Like
with that hideous dress that was really a cocktail dress underneath.
With the peekaboo sleeves. Well, this one's a lot more skimpier, but...
You know, in real life, that never would have worked if she just pulled all that shit off and had a perfect cocktail dress underneath. You know, I totally forgot that she was on a sitcom for 4 years.
Oh, what sitcom? And when?
It was like from like 89 to 93, and it was with one of those it was like one of those comedians from that time. Like it was like not Richard Lewis. Was it Richard Lewis? I don't know. But it was like a you know, husband wife family kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or it was like I really don't remember
type of thing.
I really don't remember it at all.
Okay, now I'll have a look at that.
Do you want to discuss?
Because I've been listening to the Seinfeld retrospective podcast, and it's they're very specific in that, because they're celebrating the Seinfeld 30th anniversary, and they post each episode on the day it originally aired 30 years before.
Okay.
So it started in 2019 when the first episode aired in the summer, and then they didn't have another episode until I think January of the next year.
Yeah.
So that's what they did on the podcast.
Didn't take off straight away, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they were talking about they talk about current events, things that happened on that day, and it was funny.
Who's hosting it though?
They're just fans of the show.
Oh, okay.
But it was funny because on one of the days that a certain episode aired, it happened to be in the news when Madonna was on the Blonde Ambition tour, and she was in Canada, and they were going to arrest her for the simulated masturbation scene that they show in Truth or Dare.
Yeah. With the pillow or whatever it was.
It really wasn't even simulated masturbation.
It was
She just
humping, wasn't
fucking.
it? Yeah.
It was humps. Yeah, she just humps the mattress. Big fucking deal. And by gateway, he means his pants. Am I right, ladies?
His pea slit.
Ugh.
Although, speaking of retrospectives, not that I feel this is pathetic, is the OC is doing a podcast retrospective where they talk about each episode, and it's like actual cast members talking about it.
Oh, what? What show?
The OC.
Oh, God. That is pathetic.
I never watched it, so I can't.
No, I never watched it either. My grandmother. No, wait. My grandmother used to watch that show.
Not that I have anything against the show. It just wasn't really one that I felt like watching.
And I remember being very surprised. I was like, "Nan, you really watched this?" Okay. Because she was all about like Lifetime and shit.
Well, it was. I think at heart it was a soap opera. So
Yeah, it was a soap opera, totally. It was an evening soap opera that was
like I could
teenage
imagine
based. Like it was
if
like
I was the
90210.
audience, I'd see it like Beverly Hills 90210. That
Yeah.
or Melrose
Yeah.
Place, you know.
Yeah.
But I'd grown out
Oh
of
yeah,
that.
an updated version.
Yeah. She's got an STD now.
Mm-hmm. If she's lucky.
Sarah, order's in.
And a part in a new Francis Ford Coppola role.
There are a lot of Golden Girls retrospective podcasts.
Oh, but I can understand that.
There's one called Shady Pines.
You know, I didn't realize until quite recently, maybe like a year or two ago. There was an episode of Seinfeld where, there was an actor who had been in Seinfeld for one episode and he died, not suspiciously, but in a canyon in California. He sort of wandered off from his car and he was found dead.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and he was the gay maid in the pilot episode of Golden Girls.
This is Sarah Walker calling.
Huh.
I'm not.
I remember that story, but I'm trying to remember who he was on Seinfeld.
Yeah, it was a real, like, I don't think he played a dentist, but it was something like very...
No, that was Bryan Cranston.
Yeah. Because I remember his face in the episode, but exactly what he was doing, I don't remember what.
If someone could please call me back.
Yeah, that was sad.
Thank you.
But the Golden Girls is a show I put on to go to sleep to. I do enjoy it, but because I know it so well, I can just listen to it and drift off.
And The Nanny is a show that you put on to wake up to.
The Nanny, yeah, when I've got insomnia, I'll put that on in the lounge room and watch.
You're always watching it when you first wake up.
Oh, I was at one stage, yeah, but with The Nanny, I can only watch a few seasons. I don't like it too much after he takes back the thing.
Takes back the thing?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
He takes back the thing.
I don't get it.
In one episode, he tells her that he loves her, and then he takes it back.
Oh, you are talking to me like I'm a faithful devotee of that goofball show. I've maybe seen 6 episodes. It's not... I bet you like Beautician and the Beast as well, don't you?
I haven't seen that in yonks.
I haven't seen it at all.
Then how can you judge? How can you judge? How can you sit there and judge a movie you haven't seen?
Fair enough.
You are a beast. Although I haven't seen any of the live action remakes of Disney films. Just leaning on to Beauty and the Beast.
I've seen very few Disney films in general, so. So you mean to tell me you haven't seen like The Lion King with Beyonce?
No.
How dare you?
Have you?
No. Have you ever seen any? I know it's not Disney, but have you ever seen any of those Land Before Time movies? There's like 15 or 16 of them.
Yeah, I know. I've seen the original, but yeah, it's like Land Before Time 26.
Are you okay?
How dare you! How dare you touch me!
Right, we should talk about the movie.
Yes. Sort of Land Before Time. With Littlefoot.
Oh.
And Spike.
Remember that movie We're Back? That was like kind of a total rip-off of Land Before Time.
No.
Yeah, it was like an animated movie. It was called We're Back, a dinosaur story. And I just remember it looking exactly like Land Before Time.
No. Here where she's walking the street, she should have had a young girl chasing a Hare Krishna.
I know you're laughing because you think I have no idea what you're referencing.
No, I keep listening to the guy saying how you'll be on Broadway. You know, it reminds me of Jack McFarlane when he says, "One day you'll be on Broadway, maybe hailing a cab, maybe like."
Only you would think that's funny. Is the new iteration of Will and Grace still on?
No. Well, evidently, there was bad blood between Megan and Grace.
I've heard that. Yeah, I heard there was bad blood between her and everybody. She was impossible to work with.
Who, Megan or
no? Fucking
Yeah.
what the fuck's her name?
It's Eric McCormack and Deborah Messing.
Clearly not Deborah Messing. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah,
I think that's probably why. I think that's probably why her movie career didn't take off.
I get that feel as well. That she's sort of the Katherine Heigl.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because Megan Mullally kept being in roles and in steady roles as well. So it's,
Yeah,
whereas-
she did a lot of voiceover stuff too for like animated series.
Oh yeah. I tried watching a show that she did that was not animated, but it was called Cinema Toast, I think. But I just couldn't get into it. And it was a group of actors had got together and they'll take like old footage and then just replace the words.
Oh.
Got off on it too, right? No. Seeing me fail like that?
Oh.
Sarah, those are your friends. Hey, nobody wanted that for you.
You know what I can't believe is still fucking on?
I'm trying to do something.
Grey's
The
Anatomy.
Connors.
Oh, is that still on? Oh.
Yes! Who the fuck watches it? And I never, ever, I don't watch a lot of TV, granted, but I do watch Jeopardy for the most part every night.
Who's hosting it now?
Right now it's, well, we're gonna date the podcast, but right now it's Ken Jennings.
Oh, I thought maybe it was Blossom.
Well, she comes back every now and again, and she's a fucking total fraud too with her brain vitamin. Did you hear about that shit?
No.
Yeah, she's endorsing some vitamin that they keep showing the ads for during Jeopardy. And
Sounds
it's like
the Lucy show.
it's total it's total snake oil. It doesn't work. And all she's very, very, very proud to say that she's a neuroscientist.
Yes.
But she's never worked as a neuroscientist.
Well, she's got a PhD as a neuroscientist.
She's got her degree, yes.
Yeah.
She went to school, yes. She graduated, yes. But she never worked as a neuroscientist.
Yeah.
That's like a teacher getting their degree in like fucking mathematics, but never teaching a class. So you're not a neuroscientist. You just have the potential or degree to be one.
You're a doctor of neuroscientology. That's it. That came out wrong.
You could have just said neurosciences, but okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Did we get to the maggot puking yet? I can't. Never
You
mind.
and maggots.
Oh, well, you know how much I love a maggot.
You can feel it in your nut.
You and your nuts.
I wasn't sure with that one.
Sleep now, Sarah. We want to show you something.
Oh, you think I wouldn't get a Psycho Beach Party quote, bitch? I invented Psycho Beach Party. I think it's a teenage world.
Well,
Now we're getting to some
feel
Phil
stupid
Collins.
saying this, but I kind of feel like seeing what movie she got into. After selling her soul.
She got into the Silver Screen. Hello.
Yeah,
You
but
wanna
I would
see
have
the
been
Silver
interested to see
Screen?
that movie that she actually went into. But actually, I wasn't sure if what was going to happen is if she was going to be like a Black Dahlia style situation where she does become famous. See a bit of nip.
I thought you see everything.
No.
Even when she takes all her clothes off with the casting couch.
Oh, I didn't think so.
And then when she's like reborn, she's totally naked.
Yeah, I reckon so. You know, I only saw this recently and I've kind of forgotten some parts of it already.
But they were nice enough to give her a wig.
Yes.
So she
Remember
could look
there
like
was,
Jill
like,
Scholen. Wow.
There was a few bold models in the 90s. That was their thing. Oh, no, it might date us. But are you a fan of Sinead O'Connor?
No. She's crazy.
Well, that doesn't make her bad. She was in a movie I liked called The Butcher Boy. I studied the book for my year 12.
I remember that
English.
cover freaked me out.
Of The Butcher Boy?
Of the movie.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know she was in the movie.
She plays the Virgin Mary.
Oh, God. But fucking the cover was very reminiscent of Motel Hell.
Oh, well, I must have had a different cover, maybe.
What? Well, the cover, I think it's a child, and he's wearing like a schoolboy's uniform, and he's got a pig head, and he's holding a knife.
Yep.
And it was scary. It scared me.
I remember Motel Hell being the four heads being plowed out.
Yeah, but
she wears
Rory
a pig mask,
Calhoun
just scares
wears a
some
pig
kids.
head with a chainsaw at the end.
Oh, I think she had a few maggots in her vag.
Oh no, you don't want that.
I think.
And this is a micro budget movie because you know that shit wasn't CGI.
No, well, she had she put something out, and I thought she had something crawl up her hand. That's why I was.
Oh no, you don't want that.
I
You
just
don't-
thought it was blood,
that-
but then
I,
it went
oh,
upward.
I don't want that.
Ooh. This is a star quality coming out.
Yeah, this was like the final. The
last piece of it, yeah.
Well, well, I think it was her releasing her true self.
Yeah, yeah. The decent side of her is now
Yes, she's gone.
exiting the body.
Mm-hmm. It's like an exorcism.
But the opposite.
Mm. And then she kills poor Danny.
Repossession.
Mm-hmm. I think he saw the movie a little sooner.
I remember
claim.
the song. The end. I feel like the it gets televised at the end, doesn't it?
Well, it's a big parody of
Shocker.
No, shut up, Grandpa. It's a parody of
The Exorcist. Is that what?
Shut up! It's a parody of Jim Baker and Tammy Faye.
Oh, yep. Oh, I'm eager to watch that movie though. I still haven't gotten around to it. The Eyes of Tammy Baker or Tammy Cessna.
Well, they had it's called The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and I remember they had a documentary called The Eyes of Tammy Faye, like not long after she died. Okay, why is he enjoying this? Why is he being evil? He has a really good line
he's a
here.
Satanist.
Wait, he has a really good line that I like.
Yes, you are. You can go into the ground and be forgotten forever. Or you can be reborn.
Not yet.
Did you expect it to be painless? That it would be easy? That you'd simply wake up one morning with everything you ever wanted laid out before you? I told you, Sarah. Dreams require sacrifice. And so do we. I can give you what you want, Sarah. But you need to embrace who you really are. It's time to become one of
That I like that.
What's interesting is looking at the door. She's going into a house that's 919. However, on the door there's a sticker that's upside down, and apparently the actual number of the beast is 616. Are you still there?
Mm-hmm.
I took your breath away.
Well, I just get really happy when they finally let her shop.
You're such a Phoebe.
Excuse me. I'm Michelle. Okay.
I'm the Rhoda.
No, it's I'm the Mary and you're the Rhoda. You want to be the Mary, you don't want to be the
Mary,
Rhoda.
And you're the Rhoda. I'm giving you the finger as we're talking.
I'm the Mary. I'm the Mary.
You're just some old piece of
pasty hag on a deathbed.
You tell me.
I'm the Mary. Everybody knows.
ever how comfortable your bed is.
See, these two are going to have plenty of time to live in a van down by the river when they're living in a van down by the river. I felt bad for Danny when she stabs him and he just goes, "Why?" I was like, "Oh." And that is who? What's his name from Dead Girl?
Noah
Keegan. Noah Segan. Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Although I felt like funny. I've got the summary from my Letterboxd reviews, and it said the director I've watched the most last year. It's obviously the ones that I've most reviewed was Andrew Fleming. And that was only 2 movies. But the actor who I watched the most last year was Dan Hedaya.
Well, swim fan,
like,
so that
Dan Hedaya.
What else has he been in besides Swim Fan that you watched?
He's in Mulholland Drive.
Oh, so you watched 2 Dan Hedaya movies?
Yeah. I kind of feel like I've watched movies with the same actor through the year. I was surprised. Although I still have to watch Clueless again. I wouldn't mind watching that again.
You let him put that.
Did you ever watch the Clueless TV show?
Yes, but I don't remember it. I remember watching it because it was on, but...
I would be willing to bet that looking back on it now, it's probably worse than you remember.
Yeah.
Considerably.
No, well, I think that I was sort of... I was at the age where I wanted it to be the same actors.
Well, I thought Rachel Blanchard did a dead-on Alicia Silverstone, and she looked a lot like her.
Yeah.
And Stacey Dash didn't really have anything going on, so...
Yeah, yeah.
And he did Elisa Donovan. And then they had, speaking of Blossom, what's his name? Who was her boyfriend? Played
Joey.
Josh. No.
Okay.
You think I want any of
David something. He was her boyfriend on Blossom, and he was way too cute for her. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I didn't realize that she had a boyfriend. I hardly remember Blossom.
Yeah, Tracy told us about the stack of cash.
And the guy who played her father was like 700 pounds.
Oh my god.
But they didn't continue on with the Josh relationship, or did they?
No, I don't think so.
Producer's cock for a role in a movie called The Silver Screen.
Is Amy Heckerling still alive?
Yes, I told you she liked my
That's right. Yes.
post about the crush.
From here, it sounds a lot like prostitution.
I was actually talking about her with Jed the other day because we were talking about. Oh, that's problematic. We were talking about single white female and all the nudity that Jennifer Jason Leigh did in it. And it just reminded me of on the Fast Times at Ridgemont High, there's a commentary with Amy Heckerling and somebody else. And whoever the other person was brought up the flack that she got when the movie came out because they thought that she was exploiting Jennifer and Phoebe Cates, but Jennifer especially. And Amy just went, because they're naked.
Oh, okay. I
in
haven't seen the movie. Huh.
But Amy just went, oh, she was happy as a clam to take her clothes off.
Was she naked in Hitcher?
No.
No, okay. Did she get naked in that Sister.
I didn't see that one.
I feel okay.
I don't think she's getting naked really anymore these days because she's playing the mom character a lot, which is kind of sad because I
feel
think
like
she's
she
a really
could
good
have gotten
actress.
naked in the cut.
In the cut?
Yeah, there was a bit of
with Meg Ryan.
Yeah.
But wasn't that Meg Ryan's movie? It was Meg Ryan to show them titties. Okay. Meg Ryan, this is my titty movie, all right?
Do you see Mark Ruffalo's penis in that?
I don't know. I never even saw it. I would have.
I saw it I saw it at a picnic cinema. So it was a bit hard to see anything because, the lighting isn't that great.
Well, why don't you buy the goddamn Blu-ray?
I know. It's available on streaming. I might watch it.
I don't know. I think Mark Ruffalo is really cute, but I don't like his chest hair because it's so thick and brambly.
Oh, well, fuck you.
And I don't mind. You think I have an issue with body hair, and I don't. But I like either way. But I think his just takes away his appeal because it's just matted and thick and unkempt looking.
See, here it gets quite violent, but
there
is a goof in that the weight does not get any blood on it.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh. Jesus.
See, and even here I was wondering if her fame will come about through being a killer.
I didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. I had no idea. I was like, I have no idea where this is going. This just went off the rails. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And then when it's finally revealed, I was like, ooh, that's kind of fucked. So I think what actually is in the movie is more fucked up than anything you could even imagine or what is even suggested.
Yeah. But I wonder, if the writers or the people involved in writing the story were wannabe actors, and they're saying how much of a hassle it is to get anywhere in Hollywood.
I never really hear stories about screenwriters who had aspirations to be actors that much.
No, but these screenwriters, they got their idea from a friend who was in acting.
Yeah, but didn't you say that wasn't true?
Yeah, but in saying that, the idea was false, but the story that grew out of it might have had some input.
Oh, no.
I don't think there was any actual killing involved. I'm just saying. It's a cutthroat industry.
Oh, no, because poor Noah's going to get it. I like Noah as a name. Noah is such a cute guy's name.
Yeah, it's it's that type of in the romantic comedy, the guy next door that the girl eventually realizes is her boyfriend.
You.
Oh, Noah, you've always been there for me the whole time. Like, you're such a good friend.
Did she tell you how worried we are
No,
about you?
Although, I do like seeing this actor playing different types of roles. He does have a niche for playing the menacing role. So I always do like it when I see him in not playing that character all the time.
And his character is named Danny, too, which is another cute guy name.
Look, Sarah, whatever is going on,
Aw.
I can help you.
I feel bad.
Talk to me.
I like the way her voice changed here.
She really looks down her nose at everyone else in the apartment.
Yeah, I'm your
Like,
friend.
she's the only one actually trying to make an effort to get into acting.
I
into
don't
the world
know.
that she wants.
None of you are.
I'm trying to determine if she's speaking at a lower register or if they manipulated her voice. Oh,
Jesus, what's wrong?
not Danny. Not my Danny.
Oh, Danny boy. The pipes are calling.
Mm. Oh, God.
There's only one thing in this whole world that I want. And they're gonna give it to me.
I think the only thing that would have been more fucked up than the actual ending is if none of it was real.
Which I think any ending could have been the ending. You know, anything.
Yes, but yes. I mean, you could look at it in two different ways, because for somebody who's pulling out their hair, she's clearly unbalanced. But you could say that I had two different scenarios in my head, and now I lost one of them. I don't know what that says about me, but I know what I was going to say. I was going to say, because she's so unbalanced, you can say that she's very impressionistic, and or you could say that she's just crazy, and none of it's real.
Have you ever seen the 1980s movie Curtains?
I have. Somebody else did the
That
comparison.
yeah.
It's kind of bland, that movie.
Yeah, it was.
It's got a big slasher movie following, but I don't know.
There was one scene where someone gets chased down on the ice.
Yeah, that's probably the best scene in the movie. That mask was fucking scary. What are they saying?
Hal the shrimp.
Of course, right. But it just reminded me of Rosemary's Baby. Hail Satan.
Oh, yeah.
Hail Satan.
This reminds me of a joke. Do you want to hear it?
Oh, I thought you were going to say the movie.
No.
That you thought they were going to play a joke on it. Yes, tell me.
So there's this guy who's at his doctor's, and the doctor tells him, "Oh, sorry, but we found out that it's terminal, and there's nothing we can do for you." And the patient goes, "Oh, is there any like naturopathic or Eastern medicine that you could tell me to try to do?" And the doctor thinks, and he says, "Oh, well, you could always try those mud baths." And the guy goes, "Oh, what? How do you think that will help?" And the doctor says, "Well, you'll get used to being underground."
Oh, that was terrible. You're terrible, Muriel.
Sarah?
If I had a nipple for every time I said that to you,
Sarah, you here?
You'd be covered in nipples.
I could nurse a litter.
Sarah? You in there?
My auntie hates the name Sarah. Just because I don't know if I've said this to you, but in Croatian it means like the feminine for shit.
Oh.
Fire hazard.
Like to have done a shit in the toilet.
Oh. Is it spelled the same way?
No.
Shouldn't have told her.
It might be spelled like
It's your
SCRA.
business. You wanted them to know, then, well, you would have told them. Anyway, needed to say that. Hey, are you?
Oh no.
She looks very mannequin without the hair.
You're hurting me.
What does it look like to you? Does it look like she really shaved her head or she's got a bald cap on?
I would say just a bald cap, but
you can generally tell by the back because
yeah, because she's lying on a pillow. But the head just seems a bit too round. Because oftentimes when people like shave their heads, there's the indents and
like Mitch Pileggi.
Yes. It's like, did you have Selsun Blue 5 in America?
Selsun Blue Fires?
Yes. It's an anti-dandruff shampoo.
Well, we have Selsun Blue. I don't know about Fires.
Ah. And the ad was, I'd rather be bold than have dandruff. And the lady had no hair.
Oh, God.
It was a bold cap, though.
I have dandruff.
Just say goodbye to me, Trace.
But I use Head and Shoulders.
I mean, for the sake of one scene, I don't think she'd have shaved her head. It's not like,
Depends on how committed she is.
Well, she should be committed.
I would shave my head for a movie.
Yeah, but you don't have luscious locks.
Maybe I do. Have you seen me recently?
This is another reference to Shocker. The biting of the...
In the post about the Shocker commentary, somebody responded to it and said, he's so fucking fine.
Oh.
And I was like, I know, right? And other people kept replying to it with Skinner. And I was like, what? But apparently he played a character named Skinner on the X-Files. I've never seen the X-Files. I didn't know what the hell they were talking about.
You didn't get angry at them, did you? Like, get off my lawn and stop saying Skinner.
No, one person I just said, huh? Hi, Lisa. Hi, Super Nintendo Chalmers.
I got car sick in your office.
I hated the purple berries. What? Yes, I like it. Have you seen the remake of Maniac?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's got a really good score. It's very...
Oh, I did buy it, but I lost it. That was one I lost, as opposed to...
Oh, God. Every time you say that, I think of Irreversible. But it's very, very comparable to this.
Yeah.
The one from Maniac is better.
I did get... It came with a t-shirt, and I used to wear that every now and then.
Oh. Did it just say Maniac on it, or did it have... Oh, okay. I wouldn't wear a t-shirt with Elijah Wood on it.
Okay.
Where the fuck did you get a copy of Maniac that came with a
It
t-shirt.
was a Blu-ray, I reckon, Blu-ray t-shirt combo.
I didn't get a t-shirt.
Maybe
Bullshit. No, I didn't.
Somebody took it out before they got it to.
No. Was it put out by IFC? You don't remember?
I forget. No, it was a fair while ago that I got it.
It was just a white t-shirt that said Maniac on it.
No, I reckon it was a blue with white writing. But again,
You were walking around.
I'd be a terrible witness, you know.
You'd be walking. You were walking around with a t-shirt advertising a movie you've never even seen.
Well, I used to wear a t-shirt that said I beat anorexia. No, I reckon I saw parts of the movie, but I didn't end up getting to watch it all the way through.
I don't know. I liked it the first time I watched it, but then I remember going to watch it again, and I was like,
I want to watch Come to Daddy.
That was another one that was.
I like that he, now that he's sort of made his money from the Lord of the Rings, he's doing the movies he wants to do.
Yes, I like that too. And I like that he's such a huge proponent of the horror genre and for horror filmmakers. Especially
he's
indie horror
his own Madam
filmmakers.
X.
He is. And he produced a movie that I'm sure I've mentioned before, but I really want to do a commentary for, called The Greasy Strangler.
Oh, I have heard you say it. And, actually, I'll write that down as well, because I reckon I've seen it available somewhere. So.
I asked James to do it, and he streamed it on Prime, and he was like, no, I can't do a commentary for this.
You've seen it and not liked it.
What, The Greasy Strangler?
Yeah.
No, I love The Greasy Strangler.
Okay.
It's very oddball, goofy, dark comedy.
What year was it made?
2016.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, is it a British horror?
It's written by a British writer, director.
All right. Now, I feel there was stuff I was supposed to look up after, but I haven't written it down, so it doesn't matter.
The Anna Nicole Smith.
Oh, no, but I'm not going to look that up while we're recording.
Oh, you're not going to look that up?
More information stuff that I was going to...
About what?
Yeah, that's what I don't remember. I'll have to...
For fuck's sake. So, what are your final thoughts on Starry?
No, I enjoyed that again. It's a movie. I don't. It's very gruesome and atmospheric, and it's a movie that you can appreciate for its storyline and symbolism, and it's got something that it's saying. It's not just have characters to kill off and who is it? It's got a
it's not a
storyline.
slasher movie.
Yeah.
It's got more depth.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. And I'm very, very, very sad to hear that these directors lent their talents to Pet Sematary after this.
It got their foot in the door, I suppose, but
it did.
I have yet to watch Pet Sematary. I don't know if I will.
I don't think you want to. No. Mm-mm. No, I don't. I don't at all. I really don't at all. Ever. No, don't do that. And I think anybody who says the original doesn't hold up needs to get their eyes gouged out.
Yeah.
Because Pet Sematary is a fucking classic. Yeah, I want Church to throw a dead rat in the tub while they're taking a long,
you want
sexy soak wet.
A slow, agonizing, painful death from infestation by a dead rat.
Yes, an infestation by a dead rat. Yes, that's what I want. Mm-hmm. Because that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And that's your final thought.
No, that was your final thought. Because you're a fucking goofball.
Yes.
Unless you have anything you'd like to add to that thought? 'Cause
No,
I really have to
although
pee.
I would like to see if my library has that Stephen King book about writing. So I might check that out one day.
Oh, that's a really good book.
On writing?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's the one.
Yes, I always thought it was interesting though, because I read it a few times, but in the intro, it's called On Writing: a Memoir of the Craft. And so what it's supposed to be is it's supposed to tell the stories of how he developed his writing as a child and how through getting published and so on and so forth. But there's also stories about, his accident and other personal things. But the main takeaway, or the two main takeaways actually, that I got from that book was in the introduction, it says specifically, this is not a how-to.
Yeah.
Yet there are writing tips peppered throughout the book.
Yeah.
And there are two books that Stephen King absolutely abhors. And he hates them so much that he mentioned them both at least twice. First one, Valley of the Dolls.
Mm-hmm.
Second one, Flowers in the Attic.
Oh, really?
I was not happy about that.
Ah, okay.
But I still recommend the book.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Mara Wilson recommended it. That's why I keep putting it on my list.
Oh, that's why you want to read it, really?
Yes.
Because Mara Wilson
now you've
recommended
cemented
it.
the idea.
Because everybody knows when Mara Wilson opens her mouth, you got to pull up a fucking chair.
Yes. I got
Matilda
something to say.
speaks. Yeah. When Matilda speaks, you drop everything. Okay.
Yes. I'll have to send you a clip of some Australian Saturday Night Live spoofs. Just by the way.
Yes, you do that. Okay, I really have to pee, so I'm
Yes,
going to
me
end
too.
this.
So wrap this up, boy.
Yes, okay. So I want to say thank you to Tony for joining me for Starry Eyes.
Thank you for having me once again.
Of course. Always a pleasure. And I want to say thank you to everybody for listening. And until next time, this is Brandon Ford wishing you all unpleasant dreams.